Hi there, welcome to my gentle yoga class for 45 minutes. If you're watching this later on, not live, welcome. I'm Rachel Young and I'll be guiding you through a 45-minute class to help you feel less worried, stressed, tired, overwhelmed, and more relaxed and calm and all round feeling better. So welcome to those of you who are joining me live. If you are watching this later, fast forward through to the point where I get on my mat. So enjoy the class and let me know how you feel afterwards. Hi to those of you who are joining me live. So if you have got anything at home like cushions, blankets, even though it's pretty warm here today, if you're in the UK, blankets are really nice to sit on, something quite firm and thick. I'll show you what I've got. So I've got a really thick blanket here, and that's really good. You can also fold it up and it's really nice to sit on, and you can also use a lighter blanket for Shavasana when we're in Shavasana later to help you feel all cozy and cared for. So I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes. So if you want to go to your mat and lie down and wait for me to start, you're welcome to do that. And I'll be starting in about maybe 1 or 2 minutes. If you feel like saying hi and let me know you're here, just say hi in the comments so I know who you are. I can, if I know you from my classes, I can also suggest something. If I know you've got injuries, I can suggest something else. But you might be completely new to me, so welcome if you are. And the aim of this class is to help you feel relaxed and really just to kind of let go of worry, and especially in this time when there is a lot of worry and you might be feeling overwhelmed because you're working from home, living at home and working at home. You might have people around you, family, you might have parent responsibilities, there's more cooking. You can't really get away from your workspace if you work at home, so it's all a bit sort of too much for most of us. So this class is designed to help you let go of the mental chattery stuff that can kind of hype everything up, and get slowly and very gently into our bodies. So there's nothing about this that's effortful. It's not a flow class, it's not dynamic, it's all about rest. We will be doing some postures, but it will all be really, really slow and kind of designed to give yourself some compassion and self-care. Hi Laura, nice to have you here. So we'll start in around 30 seconds. Just say hi if you can reach over to your screen without knocking it over, and so I know who's here, and then we shall start. Hi Steve, nice to have you here. Make sure you've got all you need around you, and it might sound a bit gross, but if you've got a sock, a clean one, you can place it over your eyes if you haven't got an eye pillow at the end in Shavasana. It can be nice to, it's a really good thing to block out the light so you can drop into relaxation, and blocking the light out really helps you do that. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to show you what I've got here by way of cushions and blocks and stuff. So if you join me again, you know what to bring, and if you haven't got anything today, don't worry. As long as you've got your yoga mat and you can hear me and you're breathing, that's all you need. So I've got a thick blanket, I've got a bolster here, so we're not going to be doing loads with the bolster, but it can be good to put under your knees in Shavasana. I've got cushions, I've got a few more over there, and that's all you need really. Hi Susan, nice to have you here. So come and lie down to begin with. So come all the way onto your back. So if you've just joined me and missed the first little section, no worries, we're only about to start. And the intention is to be as kind and gentle towards yourself as you can in these movements and how you breathe. So it's not dynamic, it's not a regular kind of dynamic hatha flow class. So just bring yourself to settle here. If you have your legs outstretched, bend your knees and take your feet flat to the floor. You're not letting your knees drop in towards each other. You've got your feet a little bit wider than hips and the knees are pointing upwards. And bring the backs of your arms onto the ground and turn the palms up for now, to get into a neutral position with the body. So we're not bending or twisting in any way. We're simply in this central line. And if you've been sitting at a desk at home that's not set up for good posture, then this is really, really a good starting point to help your back let go and your neck let go of tension. So this is actually a really natural, supported posture for your body. It's called constructive rest. You can close your eyes. Really great for the digestion as well. So if you're someone who gets bloating and discomfort in your lower belly or any part of your abdomen, then this can be a good go-to at home after a meal that's made you feel uncomfortable. And the more that we can relax, the better our digestion works. So just let your body be here as you are right now. Noticing the back of the head on the ground, the backs of the shoulders, backs of the arms, and the backs of the hands, the fingers and thumbs relaxed. Noticing the whole of the back on the ground, down to the back of the pelvis, and the belly relaxes down into the back, and the back softens. Noticing the feet on the ground, and in these times of heightened anxiety and worry, then bringing your awareness to the feet can be one of the most simple and effective things that you can do to take you away from your thoughts and down, grounding you into the here and now. Noticing both feet on the ground. Let's spread the toes. Spread the toes so they lift a little and then lower them back down. Then peel the heels off the floor so they lift and then lower them back down. Let's do it once more with the toes, spreading from the centers of the feet and then lower the toes, lifting the heels and then lower. From here, bring your knees in towards your belly and take your hands around the fronts of the shins. Bring the knees together, bring the feet together, and rock side to side if that feels good for your lower back, or you can stay still, whatever feels good for you. If you're rocking side to side, make it slow and gentle. Then keeping the legs together, position the hands now so they're on the kneecaps and you've got your fingers pointing towards the toes. And take the legs in one direction in a circle. Legs are going together in one circle, it doesn't matter which way. And feel how when you're doing that, it massages the back of the pelvis, sacroiliac. So it's not a big circle. And you could even bring the breath into the movement. So picture a circle in the back of the pelvis. And half the circle is made up of your inhale breath, and the other half of the circle is made up of your exhale. And it means you'll probably need to go slower with your movement, and the breath guides the movement. When you get to the end of your next exhale, as your inhale begins, start to circle the legs in the other direction. And then bring the legs into the center. Take both feet to the floor. Bring the legs together so the feet touch and the knees touch. And stretch the arms above the head, taking one hand on top of the other. And let your knees fall out to the side so you're in supine Baddha Konasana. Knees go out to the side. This will feel like a stretch into the inner groins. And it also is a gentle opening across the chest and shoulders. Notice how your belly rises and falls as you breathe. And if you've been feeling more anxious today, you might have to more consciously send your breath into the belly rather than high up in the chest. And more consciously extend the inhale and extend the exhale. We will be doing some pranayama in a minute, but for now we're just getting into the body, getting used to being here, taking a slow transition. Then bring the knees together, stretch the arms out behind you again. Then take the other hand on top and take the knees out to the side again. This time notice how the ribs, sides of the waist expand as you breathe in and contract back to the center as you breathe out. Just noticing, observing. We're not doing a really strong, controlled breath right now. But do observe if there's quite a significant difference between the length of one breath and the other. If you have much shorter on one than the other, try to lengthen it to match the other breath. I know for me, when I feel anxious, it's hard to take a breath in, but it's easier to breathe out. Some people might be the other way around. Then bring your knees together and bring your arms down by your body. Bring your knees all the way in towards you and roll onto one side. Stay there for a moment. Make sure you've got both arms in front of you and use your top hand to press yourself up to sit. And coming to sit on your cushions or blocks or bolster, I'm going to use my blanket. If you've got a blanket, make sure it's folded quite thick. The idea is that you want to get your knees lower than your hips. Coming to either a cross-legged position, or you can take your knees out wider if you've got more flexibility in your hips and place one foot in front of the other. Then, because I'm designing this so it's more of a restorative practice, turn your palms down, connect index fingers and thumbs, and relax the shoulders, closing the eyes. Again, returning to the sensation of breath in your body. Notice how the belly expands gently as you breathe in and softens as you breathe out. You might begin to notice it in the sides of the waist as well, the left and right sides. And all the way around to the back body as well. So it's not just from the front, the whole circumference of your torso breathes. Softening the muscles of the face. And slowly open up the eyes. Take your arms out to the side and reach over to your left and take the palm flat to the floor. Then slowly stretch up through the right arm and turn the arm so the palm faces the same way as your other hand. Lift up through that arm, keep gently pressing down through the right hip, but lift up and over through the torso. So you're not just kind of sinking, you're lifting up and over. Let your head relax and drop this the left shoulder away from the ear. For those of you that have a little bit more flexibility, you could begin to bend your left elbow and go a bit more deeper. Then keeping your body, your torso as it is, reach the top arm up and turn the arm so now the palm faces away from you, reaching the arm away, away, away until you find a good stretch. Keep moving the shoulder back and the shoulder blade down the back. So your arm might be higher or lower than mine. Breathing into the part of your neck or shoulder that feels tight. And if it doesn't feel tight, lucky you. Most of us who sit at a desk get tight here. So then turn your face towards the floor. And you get a little bit of a stretch into the other part of your neck. Then lower your right hand down. Keep your face turned to the side and come up to the center. Then turn your head into the center. Close your eyes a moment and notice sensations between one side and the other. Okay, now reach the arms out. Take the right hand over to the right. Reach the left arm up and turn the whole arm in its shoulder socket. And then lifting up and over for a side stretch on this side. Send your breath into the side body. Drop the lower shoulder away from the ear. Then lift that top arm up, turn the palm away and begin to release the arm away from you until you find a stretch that feels right for you. And it may be in a different part of your neck or shoulder than the other side. Then gently turn your face to look down. Keep looking down as you come up to the center. Then turn your head into the center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Look up at the palms and exhale the hands to the heart. Let's just warm the shoulders up a little bit. Inhale, slowly circle the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hands down. And release the hands. If you are not crossing your shins, cross your shins unless you're kneeling. If you're kneeling, stay kneeling. Inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, pull the belly back and turn to your left for a twist, lowering the hands. And you have the right hand on the left knee and the left arm behind you. Gentle twist. Inhale, bring the arms back to the center, turn to the center. Cross your shins the other way if you've got your shins crossed. And exhale, turn to your right. Inhale up, bring the palms together and exhale the hands to the heart. And release the arms. Come down. Actually, no, we're going to stay seated. Make sure you're still comfortable to sit. We're going to do a really simple seated pranayama. So it's nothing complicated. If you've never done pranayama before, I'm going to guide you through. It's pranayama. In really simple terms, we're controlling how we breathe to create an energetic effect. And the idea for this one we're going to do is simply to bring you back into balance mentally and to get your breathing. The way we do that is evening out your breath, so the inhale and exhale are the same length, and you're able to use the full capacity of your lungs and the diaphragm muscle, rather than breathing high up, which we tend to do when we're more anxious. So, closing the eyes, make sure you're comfortable still. If you need to shift around, find that comfortable position now and close your eyes. Let's place the palms down onto the knees and connect the index fingers and thumbs, relaxing the other 3 fingers out. So tuning into the sensation of your breath again. Notice where the breath is in your body, especially where is it in the torso. So can you now consciously begin to feel the breath down more into the belly and below the ribs and out to the sides of the waist, the lower waist that is, and round to the mid-lower back. So we're starting there. That's where we start. We're going to start our inhale. And as you inhale, your torso expands from that point upwards and out through the rib cage and all the way up as high as the collarbones. And as you exhale, the breath leaves your body from the collarbones down through the middle of your trunk into the lower trunk. So I'm going to guide you on a count of 4. If you feel like you've got more capacity to breathe, so you can count for up to 5, 6, 7 or longer, then feel free to do that in your own count. And you can then return to the next practice that we do after this. So for those of you joining me with a count of 4, slow inhale first of all, and exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. 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 Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Let go of the count and the control. And if you notice that you struggle to breathe from lower down in your abdomen, just keep trying. Try not to force it. Don't get anxious if you can't do it. That's going to be the opposite of what you need today. So if you simply find it's hard to do that, then all it is practice. Eventually your body starts to get used to the rhythm and your body and mind start speaking to each other a bit more intelligently. So sometimes it can just be a bit of resistance to change. For those of you that are finding that comfortable, that's great. And what we're going to do now is the same thing again, except include a pause at the end of each breath. So the pause is actually naturally there anyway. And the idea is that you rest in that pause, let the pause be there, and then the breath arises by itself. So the most relaxing pause is the one at the end of the exhale. So if you struggle with the one at the top of the inhale, you can kind of inject it in there if you can't quite find it. But really, if you want to relax today, it's the pause at the end of the exhale. That's where the sweet spot is. So closing the eyes. Take a natural inhale breath. And exhale. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Open up the eyes very slowly, letting the light back in. And come down to lay on your back. Come all the way down. So I'm making this a lot more on the back than I do in my dynamic classes for obvious reasons. We want to rest. So we've got another 15 or so minutes. So let's do a little bit of movement here, but not anything really strong. So bring your knees in towards you and take your legs over to the left for a twist. Notice if your breathing feels any different from that 2 rounds of pranayama. Let your knees and feet drop to the floor if they haven't. Let's make this more restorative, so turn your head to face the direction of the feet, but try not to take your chin towards your shoulders. Keep the back of the head in line with the back of the body, so your neck is still in alignment to your spine. Come all the way onto your back. And then if you're like me, you have to shuffle over to one side because I've got a wall on one side. And then bring your legs in and take your legs to the other side, turning your head the same direction as your feet. Inhale back to the center and take your feet to the floor. Come back into the middle of your mat if you've shuffled over. Bring your knees in towards you and take your hands on top of your knees. Keep your feet together, your big toes together, and your knees move out to the side in opposite directions. Start to circle your knees with the hands. So you're creating 2 circles. Inhale as you push the legs away, and exhale as you pull the knees in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Little circles. Exhale. So it's not a big movement. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Take your feet down onto the floor. Keep the left foot where it is and bring the right thigh in. Interlace your fingers and take them around the back of your right thigh. Pull the knee in and let your right heel drop. so you're not stretching the foot. You can either keep the left foot on the floor or stretch the left leg out onto the mat. Keep pulling the right thigh in, but see if you can very gently push the right sitting bone towards the front of your mat. Soften the shoulders. We don't want strain in the shoulders or the jaws. Relax the tongue. Bring the left knee back in. Take the right foot down and interlace the left hand, the hands around the left thigh. Extending the right leg if you did on the other side. Gently press the left hip crease towards the front of your mat. Soften shoulders. Bring the knee in towards you. Then take your hands underneath both thighs, just behind the knees, and take the legs out to the side. So let the feet apart, so your knees and feet are apart. Pull both thighs in towards your armpits. And this might be enough for you here, because it can be a little bit tight for those of you who've got tight hip flexors. If you've got a bit more space in your hips, you could try lifting the feet above the knees. Keep pulling the thighs in towards the armpits. We're not going for a full happy baby pose here because we're not doing anything dynamic. But if you feel like gently rolling side to side, please do. And then take the legs together, lower them down onto the floor, and stretch the legs out so the backs of the legs are on the floor. Reach the arms up above the head. And take your hands around your elbows. So here, on your exhale breath, gently pull down through the pit of your belly. It's not a core class, so we're not doing this in a kind of sweaty, strong way. It's just simply to make sure that you're not arching your lower back too much. It's a really gentle back bend in the upper back. Stretch your arms out. Then swap the hands over so you've got the other forearm on top. Bring your feet onto the floor and your arms down next to your body. So bring your heels underneath your hips. We're going to do a slow lift up into bridge and then a slow lift down. So we're not staying up. We're not going to be activating all the muscles. It's just to get you moving in time with your breath. So on your next inhale, start to peel the pelvis off the floor, slowly lifting the spine all the way up to the top of your back. And as you exhale, lower down, one bone at a time. Inhale, see if you can get the breath to start first before the movement begins. The movement is following your breath. And exhale to lower. Inhale for a count. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Bring the arms into it this time. So we're going to lift the legs and the hips as well as the arms. So inhale, lift hips and arms. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, arms back down, pelvis back down. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Keep going. The arms come to the floor when you reach number 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. As does the pelvis. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Staying here. Now take your feet as wide as your mat, so you can feel the edges of your mat under your feet. And bring the arms above your head. Bend your elbows and place the back of the right hand on top of the left hand. And let your knees fall over to the left. So both knees to the left. Back of the right hand is on top of the palm of the left. Then turn your head to the left. Closing the eyes if you haven't already. And we're not controlling the breath, but notice how you can breathe more into the right side of your ribs and waist here, maybe even down into the hip. Inhale back to the center. Bring your head into the center. Make sure you've still got your feet on the edges of your mat. And take your legs to the right. Swapping the hand over, so now the left hand is on top of the right hand. Gently turn your head to the right. Make sure you haven't got your nose in your armpit. Bring the back of your head in line with the top of the spine. Again, noticing how the left side now is free to breathe. Come back to the center. Shift your body into the center of your mat. And reach the arms down next to your body again. We're going to do just a few minutes of Shavasana and then end with a short meditation. So, if you would like a more restorative Shavasana, you can turn over onto your front. And you can place a rolled up blanket underneath the fronts of your ankles. Place both hands in front of your forehead and rest your forehead there. Or you can take a more conventional Shavasana on your back. And if you're on your back, place cushions or bolster under your knees to give you a bit of relief in the lower back. I'm going to put my bolster there to show you. So make sure it's whatever you're putting under your knees is actually under your knees, not under your thighs. Make sure you can get your heels onto the ground. If you're on your back, perhaps rest your hands on your belly. You could interlace your fingers and rest your hands just below the ribs. Let the tongue relax in the mouth. If you notice there's a little frown in the brows, can you soften in the brow? Are you clenching in the jaws? If so, see if you can soften in the jaws as well. And with every exhale breath, it's your opportunity to surrender in the sense of letting go of what might be troubling you or that your mind has had a grip on. So the way that you can help yourself do that is focusing on the exhale breath, and especially the natural pause at the end of your exhale. Gently start to bring your awareness back to your whole body. Slowly moving your fingers and toes. And place, if you're on your back, placing your feet onto the floor. If you're on your front, gently make your way into child's pose. If you're on your back, roll to one side, staying there. And then for all of us, slowly coming up to sit. We're going to complete our practice with around 1 to 2 minutes of a simple breath awareness meditation. So when I say simple, it doesn't mean to say that it's easy, because the mind wanders, but it's a simple technique. There's nothing complicated about what we're actually doing. So make sure you're seated on a blanket or blocks, whatever you can sit on that brings your hips higher than your knees. Turn the palms down, connect index fingers and thumbs, and close the eyes. So as we did with pranayama, we've got the breath and the natural pause at the end of the breath. So see if you can become aware now of the exhale pause. So with particular focus on the pause, being aware of the breath as a whole, and see if you can rest into the natural pause at the end of your exhale. We're not controlling the breath at all. Let it be exactly as it is. Anytime your mind wanders, forgive yourself, because that's called being human, and come back to the breath again, resting in the natural pause at the end of your exhale. And now bringing awareness now to the whole of your body. Being aware of the feet and the legs, the ground supporting you. And without looking around or opening your eyes, become aware of your surroundings. Maybe listening to any noises that you can hear. Opening the eyes up slowly. Bring your hands onto the floor in front of you for a grounding effect. So you can get this sensation of grounding when you place your hands on the floor, reminding yourself the ground is here. It's unmoving, supporting you. If you like to think of it as Mother Earth, who's probably breathing a sigh of relief right now because we've massively reduced pollution and they're probably consuming a lot of different things still, but nature can return to its natural balance. So we could even thank the earth for being here for us, if that floats your boat. Then come back up to the center. Bring your hands together and to the heart. Bow the head towards the heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. And I would love to know how you're feeling before you head off to whatever you're doing next. And remember to take it easy, because we've just done quite a slow, gentle practice. So transition back into whatever you're doing this afternoon with that same level of kindness. Try not to do anything too jarring straight away. And maybe something practical. So yeah, let me know how you're feeling before you go. It'd be really good to get some feedback. And you'll see in the description of this class that you can get a free class on your first class for free on my private group classes that I hold on Zoom. I'm doing a few of those a week. So I do another one of these gentle classes on Saturday morning for an hour at 10:15. So if you want to join me there for this gentle class, your first one is free if you've never come to any of my Zoom classes. So just check out the link on the description, and you can head over to my website. But before you do that, just say hi or say how you're feeling before you go, and thank you for being here. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Laura. Thank you for being here. Hope you're feeling more relaxed. I see some names on here that I recognise, but I'm not going to call you out in case you're just kind of you haven't joined in, and you might just be sort of checking out what I'm up to. But if that's you, hi, it's nice to see you. Alvina, oh my God, you've got a fractured foot. Yeah, I mean, apart from the bridge, maybe that could have been a bit tricky, but the rest of it, hopefully that really helped you. Poor you. You must have, your body's telling you to get off your feet for a while by the sounds of it, after all the work that you've been doing. Hi, Steve. Oh, thank you for being here. Yeah, that definitely would have been the right thing to do then, with your back playing up. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Meg. Thanks for being here. Ah, at least you've got half of it, hey? There's another one on Saturday morning if you can make it on Zoom. So just head to my website to check out the times if you want to enjoy the more relaxing side of yoga. It's not always sweaty, dynamic yoga. We can do other things to help ourselves relax the mind. Hi, Sally. Oh, it's nice to see you here. I'm glad that you made it. Even if I didn't know that you'd come in late, I can't see that. So I'm just glad that you could make it. I hope that helped. So thank you so much for being here. And if you watch this class recorded rather than live, please also leave a bit of feedback for me, how you felt afterwards. And I thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you soon. Bye. Thanks, Sally. I'm glad it helped you. Take care, and I'll hopefully see you again.